Hi, guys. Welcome to your Ace Your Masterclass series. Today's topic is Ace Your Toolkit, proven techniques to navigate and neutralize yourself. So, welcome everybody. As usual, we'll do the presentation first and then we will switch off the recording and then go into a discussion, an in depth discussion of what you can use, what you've used before, and how it can help you. So, by the end of this presentation, you will have a comprehensive toolkit to help you navigate and neutralize this overwhelming waves of anxiety. Now, first, I want to talk about your feelings explained. When you're living with undiagnosed or untreated anxiety, it can lead to physical symptoms like strained relationships, money issues, diminished quality of life. You feel low, you feel exhausted, you're on antidepressants. There's so many things going on. You're struggling with your job. So many people believe that anxiety is an undefinable emotion that they must live permanently. Isn't that what you think? Now, living with this undiagnosed or untreated anxiety can lead to physical symptoms. Like I said before, strained relationships, job worries, diminished quality of life. There's so many things can happen in your life if you live. So, when you admit how much you've lost to anxiety by avoiding those difficult feelings, then you'll allow the truth that your life is sadder than you want it to be. You haven't been doing the things you want, you haven't been achieving the goals that you want, and that everything will change even if you refuse to. So your life is in that spiral of things. Then you must really start to decide to do better. As a result of feeling difficult emotions, correctly is healing. But of course, that overall improvement is in your ability to feel that joy, feel that happiness, feel that fun, go out and do the things that you love. Now, understanding your emotions, that's my first point here. Recognize the true nature of your feelings and how they'll impact your overall well being. Assume that by ignoring or suppressing your emotions, you'll make them disappear. The energy you have spent in avoiding genuine emotions can manifest as physical ailments, obsessive behavior, heightened anxiety. Now, you do know that your emotions are intelligent reactions. It's the way we label them, the way we define our feelings, the way we talk about them, the way we discuss them with other people, the way we go on about them. I went for a walk with a friend yesterday and it was all she said was, oh, everything's so difficult and work. I don't want to think of that. I don't want to think of difficult times all the time. It determines how we experience anxiety. So knowing your primary emotions can drastically reduce your anxiety. For example, clouds gather as a result of the rainfall, suppressed emotions. They gather and they manifest as anxiety. Only by addressing the cause of it can we prevent the storm. So, how do you expand your understanding of these emotions? It is by understanding what you feel inside, and the experience of this feeling is the essence of where healing occurs. So, first, you need to understand why you're feeling that. You know, the basic feeling, what is causing you, what is triggering you to feel anxious. Somebody has anxiety, their understanding is nowhere because they're not getting to the root cause of that anxiety. So, if you buy into that medical model, the possibility is that you're covering it up with medication. Anxious person gets afraid, exhausted, has low self esteem. The symptoms may vary from paranoia, perfectionism, controlled rigidity, intolerance, addiction, so many things. Anxiety results in feeling vulnerable and having difficult relationships or difficult emotions, which often produce you feel self-righteous, you're very conscious, you're very you feel judgmental, or you expect others to understand, or you're feeling very emotional and vulnerable, and anything anybody says makes you go into that spiral. So you cannot heal that anxiety with medication. You can only treat it with medication and manage it. You need to get to the root cause of it. So, this is my model. I call it my ACE. So, when you are aware and you feel what's going on within you, what do I feel? What's happening within me? And then what should I do? What should you do about it? And what does it mean for me? So, locate what you feel and respond appropriately. That is the key to transforming your mindset, transforming it. It is so important for you to do that. The fundamentals of disease is when you uncover the root cause of your anxiety by listening to your body signals, believing that anxiety is a primary emotion or assuming it's just how you are. How many times I've heard people say that? That means they just live in that permanent state of unease, feeling detached from yourself and the world. How is that okay? Your body will seek that emotional balance. Your body reacts with symptoms like anxiety if you don't address the primary emotion. So imagine your emotions as a musical instrument. If placed correctly, it produces such a beautiful, harmonious tune. But it will sound off key if it's ignored or played wrong, signaling to everyone in the world that you need to do some adjustment and to yourself. So, it is the power of that word anxiety. If I hypnotized you and told you that there's no color blue in your vocabulary, then you won't recognize the clouds as blue or, the sky is blue. You will therefore not look at your jeans and think of it's blue. Imagine if I remove the word love too, then you will not discover the word love for the ocean because you would have no word of love and no word of blue in your vocabulary. So realize how much you will lose if you lose that word. The wrong word can describe an emotion like anxiety, like depression, and thought of it as symptom, and you will end up there every time in kind of limbo, nowhere. The words that you use become your truth, and the truth becomes emotional and material landscape, and ultimately your reality. So, take the word procrastination. I have a friend who procrastinates. So he uses the word all the time. He won't even give out his invoices because he procrastinates. He's so petrified of what the other person will think if he invoices them. So he doesn't. So then he proceeds to call himself lazy and he keeps calling himself lazy. But that's not true. He's not got to the root of this issue. And the primary emotion behind this is his fear. His fear, he's afraid because it means he needs to get information. So, again, when you feel happiness, you do more of it. When you feel anger, you acknowledge what needs to change. When you feel sadness, you acknowledge loss. You lost something, and then you get to the root cause. Fear means get information. Fear is that pattern of recognition. You cannot be afraid of what you understand. If you have enough information of fear, then new fear will take place. So it's an evolutionary principle, the mother and father of invention. It's like reading a book. If you've probably based your fear, if you have those basic fears that you don't have enough food, shelter, protection, you understand how money works. You have to make it, use it correctly. When you're afraid of being lonely and alone without intimacy, you're afraid of not knowing. But if you get to the root cause of it, that fear, you don't feel anything. You're not afraid of being ordinary. You're not afraid of being alone. Then you'll go out and just normally make friends. You, modern age deeply exacerbates that fear, the fear of being alone, being lonely, not doing things for themselves. And as close as we are to the internet, it has alienated us from the rest of the world because now, again, I'm doing this masterclass. Instead of doing it face to face, I'm doing it online. So it's the same, it isolates us. The cause of your emotional disease is losing touch with your body's innate intelligence. You're feeling some messages, they're warning signs, they're prods of assistance from your body to your awareness. The body cannot lie, it's a truth telling machine. So when you're fearful, it shows in your body. You want peace and balance, it shows in your body. Your body will produce that chemical response to that emotional state, despite of your efforts to deny it. When you feel angry and sad, all of this, if your anxiety is rooted in that fear, the underlying assumption is that it's one of your primary emotions. So if anxiety is a symptom of that feeling primary emotion, you then you cannot and will not allow yourself to feel that appropriate emotion. So be angry when you're feeling angry, not in public, of course. Be happy when you're feeling happy. When you feel anxious, feel it, locate where it's located, what is causing you to be anxious. Remember, anxiety is that undefined feeling that you cannot localize. So where am I and what do I do when I feel this? If you have no idea what you're feeling, then you're in a permanent state of anxiety. So, where am I on that compass? What do I feel? So, consider it's a clean feeling or a dirty feeling. Clean feelings may hurt you, may feel that pain for a while, and then you will learn how to cope with it because you are aware of what that is. You feel that isness, that correctness. You think, I feel betrayed, it feels devastating, I've lost my sense of self, but this is who I am right now. Clean feelings in the body and bring you deeply back to that body. Now, dirty feelings make you feel bad, like you feel anxious, you feel panicky. It takes you into body, it gives you, so you go, oh my God, I feel anxious, and you get into a this and you're clutching to straws and you don't know what to do. And that temporary relief, that taking medication, is dangerous because it covers it up. So if you feel anxious, a sense of dread, think of why you're doing that. Check whether your happiness is rooted in being angry that a relationship's broken down or that person's getting his karma, or you just feeling happy that you have now got things sorted. So I would want to use this analogy of flips, think differently. So help yourself to move on from dirty to a clean emotion. Do it as often as necessary. So, assumptions about anxiety. The word anxiety has a meaning. Remember, that's your assumption. Anxiety is a feeling of fear. Anxiety is a feeling. So, those are your assumptions. Do a word lobotomy today. Now, we use the word anxiety or depression, obsessive compulsive attention, eating disorder again. Whenever you experience those physical sensation of anxiety, find that primary feeling. Allow yourself to acknowledge it as deeply as possible. Feel that clean emotion and be anxious at that time. Now, I've got this amazing technique. So, traditionally, people use that 5, 4, 3, 1 technique. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 you can taste. It connects you to that present moment. It's globally recognized, it's used as therapists all over. But I'd like a little twist to that traditional technique. Equip yourself with this enhanced technique to elevate that symptoms. If you solely base all of your help on that grounding technique of just, the helping that traditional 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'd like you to think differently by incorporating this 5, 4, 3, 1 technique by physically interacting with some items, like ground yourself. Say, you know, 5 things that you can hear or feel. You just ground yourself and touch something, or feel something, or smell something, and use a grounding connection with those feelings. It makes a difference between just looking at a picture and feeling the sand between your toes. So feel it, and that feeling sensation when you use that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 will ground you and it'll help you better. So I have a mindful moments technique, and that information will be given to you at the end of this, and we can use it. So I'd like you to use that 5, 4, 3, 1 in this mindful moments technique. Use mindful practices in daily routine, but I'd also ask you to, in our community, Which part of this grounding technique is resonated the most with you? I'd like you to answer that question. It would be great. Anxiety might be a part of your journey, but it doesn't define you. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to ground yourself and find calm. So embrace it. Now, I want to summarize. Emotions, when understood, addressed, can prevent the buildup of anxiety. You can achieve emotional balance and peace by recognizing, confronting those feelings head on. Use active grounding techniques to further ensure that you have tools for immediate relief during your anxious moments. So, Andrew's learning alerts today. Challenge yourself. The next time you feel overwhelmed, apply these techniques. Journal your feelings before and after. Witness the power of active understanding what's going on with you and grounding in action. Remember, you have the power to navigate and neutralize your stress. Embrace it. In learning to locate what you feel, you place yourself in a position to respond appropriately. It is this precise knowledge that frees you from that constant friction, turmoil, from dislocation, or what we call anxiety. Thank you guys for watching. I'm so glad to see you guys here. And I look forward to your questions in our discussion after this and speak to you soon. Bye.